So see, heat was heated. Heartstoppers Part 2, Season 2. Part 1. Whatever. So this season relatively starts with Nick compensating coming out because he ended last season when he was like, let's tell everyone, my boyfriend. It starts with a montage of them hanging out constantly together. And then he comes out to his mom like previously. Basically the gist so far from what I've watched, I've only watched from episode 1 to 5. I just really wanted to talk about it, and then I watched the remaining 3 and then put it together. But the first 5 is just the gist of him battling with him coming out. Okay, so it starts with them montaging and visiting each other. But they don't go to form together. They don't attend form together due to the fact that he's writing exams, but they're in the same grade, but writing exams and he's not writing exams. So they're preparation for exams, right? So it starts there. He gets seated with Ben. I know his name because he's been in this season as an annoying little demon. He sits with Ben. He's still horrible. He sits with Ben. They don't like each other. As they're sitting there in class, he tries to attempt to talk to him, and he's like, don't talk to me. Don't talk about him. It's stuff, yobbo. He's egging on, which I don't get. And he's like, why do you hate me so much?
You know, if you're trying to keep it quiet, you should probably stop acting so gay there.
And stuff like that. Don't talk about him. I don't act so gay about him.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So they're chatting back and forth and stuff like that. So as they chatting, say, I miss you, what, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the gist. Well, basically the first 5 episodes is that. So as he's preparationing for the exams, they're both giddy that they're dating, but they're still dating down low. The only people that they've told are the close group of friends and mom.
Mommy.
Only his mother, Nick's mother. Okay, so we still left off where Tao and Elle like each other. They still like each other secretly, but we only know Elle at this point that Elle likes Tao, so we don't know yet, but obviously we can tell that Tao also likes her now all of a sudden. Okay, so he's less subdued, he's less over the top this season. If I'm being, especially not right now, he's less over the top, he's reserved, he still has his haircut right now. They've grown, in terms of heights and like body wise. It's like, yeah, I know that they were a little bit appropriate for their age for these roles because they are like 21 right now, 21, 22. So they were appropriate for the roles. So they didn't grow up in such a way like the Stranger Things cast or the Euphoria casts, or those type of teen shows where young adults play teenagers and then they have a break and then they come back as adults and you can see the difference. Yeah, they're not that. You can sense, Kutsi, they are still teenagers growing as teenagers. So I like that about the show very much. So they're doing that. They're getting to know each other. Elle is getting more and more relaxed and happy in her old school, but for some reason both two schools still interact. Like it's almost like you don't even know that she goes to another school with how much they still interact and see each other daily, basically, right? So they have that. They still play rugby. He goes back to playing rugby with Charlie because he's trying to help Nick come out to his friends, which I don't get why you need to come out to your friends, but he's so compensated coming out to his friends. So he chose Imogen first to come out to Imogen first. So I was like, oh, okay, start with the friend that already knows that you're gay or like you like Charlie. How she smiled during the last season when you did that whole holding hands, stop playing rugby. So just finish playing the game, then do what you need to do. But anyway, you were that excited. So he does that. He tries to get that. Imogen doesn't really have friends right now because Nick is not really friends with his friends from last season because of what happened in a cinema at the end there. The friend group has separated, if I'm not mistaken. There's a black teenager now. All of a sudden there's a black friend. I was like, where did this black guy come from? Hello, where did you come from? So apparently he's there. So where are you? Where are you? Why? Hello, get some melanin, bring more melanin here. So They are separated. He doesn't sit by the gate anymore, but Imogen's still there. Imogen still wants to be his friend. So he invites Imogen to a sleepover at Charlie's house, right? To get to help him, or everybody was trying to help him at least make it like, yeah, well, to help him come out to his friend. And mind you, I'm glad that the mute friend that was mute for the first 5 episodes in season 1 is actually having dialogue this season. We actually see that he has a personality, which is great. I was like, thank you. Yes, he still loves to read, but at least he's speaking now. At least he has a speaking role. He has a storyline this season. I was so happy. I was like, yo, thank you for not being mute. No offense, but thank you. So they get to the house. She's sweet. She's very nice. She's bubbly, and they welcome her with open arms. So he struggles throughout to tell her. She did tell her that she's done crushing on him. She has another crush. She doesn't reveal who the crush is. Eventually, she gets tired of him. To like, are you gay? You Charlie, and stuff.
It is kind of obvious.
And hugs him, and it's, yeah, sweet, I guess. And then he says, "Who do you like?" And she reveals that it's Ben. I was like, why? Why? Of all problematic characters, you could have liked the bully instead of the assaulter, the abuser assaulter. And okay, he is. And obviously, Nick is horrified by that. I would be too as a friend. So he comes out to Imogen and he finally kisses Charlie in front of their friends, and that's fine. And then that's it. So we go back, we do the thing again. He preps for his exams. Charlie is neglecting his schoolwork.
If you don't finish it, then that'll be a fail grade.
Because of this relationship, trying to be there for his boyfriend, trying to make it easier for him to come out, unlike his experience during last year, which I really do get, but come on, bruh, like, get to your schoolwork. Last Katsi, Nick is thriving, and everybody in his friend group, and even the losers that are not supposed to be thriving, are thriving, but he is slacking at his homework. So his mom is like, hey, we're gonna stop this for a while until you get your shit done, until you get your schoolwork and everything done. You're not going to see him anymore. And he tells his parents that he's dating Nick, and then they ban him from coming to sleepovers and stuff with no hanky-pankies.
Please don't say hanky-panky.
Don't say hanky-panky. So that's that, right? So he's struggling with school. Nick preps. He fails his first maths test because he didn't prep, and then Charlie helps him out, and then he passes his chemistry stat. Yo, that question that I saw about the Venn diagram, I don't remember the Venn diagram, but I think, tell me if I'm wrong. The Venn diagram, that question, I'm gonna try to remember it by memory. It says 30% are neither playing rugby and hockey, and then there are 80 total, and then 1/4 play both sports, right? So my calculation was, we first take the 80 and we get the number that we extract the 30%, we get the number of that 30% from that 80. So we get the 30% from that 80 of the players, a total 80, we get that number, and we put that number around the outside the circles, and then 1/4 we take the answer from the first part, which is the extractions from that 30%, right? And we take that 1/4 and we calculate that, and we get the number of the students from that 1/4, and they go in the middle, and then the remainder of the students go from both sides. Am I right? I think I'm right. I think that's how you calculate it. I forgot the Venn diagram. So I think that's my calculation. Am I right? I don't know. Please tell me. I don't know if I got the correct right. So they write that he passes. He still antagonizes Nick, the loser assaulter. He's like,
why you hate me so much? It's not my fault that he liked me first.
bitch! Ooh! I was like, when I was watching it yesterday, I was like, you know what? You're this close to August. This is how much I hate August. I was like, you know what? But let me see. August distributed child pee to the world on the internet because he retaliated. He thought that Ville stopped trying to fund his education, but turns out no, Ville was trying to help you with your education, and now he regrets it. But even though he did end up being apologizing, the third set, truly finally apologizing after the shit he did during the first 3 seasons, you know what I'm saying? They gave him a reduction. I I don't care. He is a child pea distributor. He should have gone to jail. But him being an assaulter and think that's okay and doesn't know his mistakes is a problem for me. Thank you very much. Anyway, he's like, oh, it's not my fault that he likes me first. I was like, no, I don't hate you for that. I hate you because you literally assaulting him. I was like, yeah.
I hate you because you literally assaulted him.
Yes, Nick.
Absolutely not.
Tell him to his face. I was like, no, but that was a misunderstanding. There was a misunderstanding. A lot of things happening on person. I don't care. I don't care either. There's no reason, no excuse to assault and be cruel to someone just because you're going through your own fucking shit. I don't care, man. I don't care. It's no freaking excuse. It's like, yes, Nick, tell him you're an assaulter. You literally assaulted him. Could have said sexual assaulted him. And then he comes in. And then they write the exam. Yeah, he gets interrupted by Charlie coming in because I haven't seen you because they weren't being apart due to the fact that he needs to finish his schoolwork. So eventually he finishes his schoolwork and he writes his chemistry exam and he passes. Well, he thinks he passed. He did it well, I guess, right? And then he finally wrote his papers and now he's clear. So that's it. They have a Paris trip that they have to go to. So they go to that Paris trip. Wait, before the Paris trip, they go somewhere. I forgot where they go. And then they go to the Paris trip. As they go to the Paris trip, it's all fun, it's so nice. Tao and Elle closed their bond of them liking each other. I was like, okay, cool. The lesbian girls, the lesbian women friendship, she tells them she loves her by mistake, and she's like, no, it's not by mistake. And you can see the other girl's face drop, like, yo, I'm scared to say I love you. I think she feels the same way, but she's one of those people who can't express their emotions, but we'll get to that. So they go to, because now Nick is battling so hard to come out, and also his brother is around. Forgot to mention that his brother came in, and he's a homophobic. So far from what we've seen, he's homophobic, and he finds out that Charlie is a guy instead of a girl because he saw a text saying Charlie with hearts. So when he sees him in the bathroom, he's like, what's your name? Say Charlie. And then he's like, does dad know? So he's homophobic and does that. But that puts more pressure into everything, that people are gonna react badly that I'm bisexual, I'm gay, I'm dating Charlie and stuff like that. So that weighs on him emotionally, and also weighing on Charlie emotionally as well, because now he has to see his boyfriend suffer, but also at the same time he wants everyone to know that they're dating because he's that proud of dating him. So he doesn't say that, of course, but I see that, and he finally says, that's fine. You don't have to come out now. There's pause you coming out at the moment. And he's somewhat relieved, Nick.
That does sound nice.
Partly relieved, not fully, but partly relieved. So, and I love the sister. She's a badass. Oh yeah, before they go to Paris, they go to a party. Yeah, a party to celebrate the exams, finishing the exam stuff. And his sister was like, if you lose him or you hurt him, I'm going to murder you.
Look after him, or you die.
Tori.
I was like, yes, girl, love you, babes. So yeah, he in a way indirectly trips him to like, oh, so you don't keep your promises when he loses him in the crowd. Tao and Elle go through a date that doesn't go well. Doesn't go before the Paris trip. I'm going back now. Like, I'm reversing. Tao and Elle go on a date. He tries so hard because he finally says, hey, I like Elle, what helped me find a date and stuff. I think that's during the exam prep. So they do that. Oh, one's cut. I have to go. Okay, they do that, and it doesn't go well because he was trying to be someone else than himself. He was trying to impress her. He was trying to be someone else, and she didn't like that, and they decided to part ways, and they didn't end well. So as they go to the Paris trip, things are still awkward. But he does find out, would say, he starts, when you get rejected, you always go to woe is me mode, and he went to this woe is me mode, like, no one should love me and stuff like that, which is not wrong. Which is wrong. I mean, it's not wrong. It's wrong to feel like that, but it is what it is. So they go to Paris. They don't decide to be like, yes, we're not gonna sleep, we're going to be in the 4-room. They all share a room, like 4 people per room. So they still share a room with Tao and Isaac. I think that's his name, ne? Isaac. And then yeah, they do all that. He says, no, we shouldn't hang out together. People will suspect. Bruh, you've been hanging out together before and during your relationship. People who don't seem to think you're not dating has no problem, honestly. Right? Like, really. And Imogen is dating Ben, right? Because I told you that she says she has a crush on him. And Nick tried to warn her and it didn't work. And I can tell you now, girl, your boyfriend is gay. He's not bisexual like he told Nick the last season. He's gay. He's gay as fuck. He's not bisexual by any means. Then it turns out that he's also cruel to her. He's also a bitch to her.
Or we could do some shopping.
Like, why? He's gay. He's a homophobic gay person. And he cannot, he's resenting himself for that. Anyway, as they go on the trip, they get associated, they do, it's a very nice trip, I might add. So the girl is still tiptoeing around the fact that they said I love you and stuff like that. And then they have a conversation. She has a conversation with Charlie. Charlie says like,
I so wish to be you guys. You're out and you're free and
stuff like that. And she's
like,
like,
I so wish I was you guys because at least you talk about your feelings whilst this girl doesn't talk about her feelings.
and she was like, it's the perfect time. And Charlie's like, it's the perfect time to you to tell her. I was like, oh, okay. And then they do those things. The inkling, the inkling, a little bit of the inkling of that Charlie is no more eating, or he's eating as less as possible, starts to come up. Because when he gives him ice cream, he's like, I'm not hungry. And he's like, I'm not hungry. I ate too much during breakfast. And he was like, you didn't eat much at all. So then he's forced to take it now, and then he licks it and it's nice. So we get the inkling of him not eating correctly and nicely by that time. So they start to sprinkle that Yoguti, there's something wrong with him not eating and stuff like that. So I mean, my first initial thought would be maybe because he's stressed, he's eating less because he's stressed. But we did see when Charlie was sitting next to that jackass at dinner and he didn't touch his food at all. But we'll get to that one. So here there's that little bit there. So okay, we go through Paris, and then we get to the part where we see Imogen get getting this treatment from this bullshit man Ben, right? And then she joins the group and stuff. So that's the start there, right? The crackling and everything. And then the bully, for some unknown reason, is still here. He's tall too. They're not friends. Like I said, the friend group split. I think he has a different type of friends.
That's that Ben also doesn't technically have friends, right?
He doesn't have friends. So he's still doing them gay jokes, but he's doing them less this season compared to the first season. So then they have an assignment. Jogo's okay, we've been enjoying Paris for right now, but we need to practice French. So we're gonna put you in groups of 2, and then we'll work on this sheet talking about French. And then we find out that the asshole Ben, the assaulter Ben, still likes Charlie. She still likes the control he had.
What if I said I want Charlie back? I get it, I was a dick back then, but I was dealing with my own shit.
And then Nick was like, no, you didn't like him. You just liked the control that you had over him. And then he's like, I want him back. You stole him from me. I'm going to get another freak out right now. He is not for you to take back. He did not steal him. You are horrible. I don't grasp the idea why he doesn't know that his behavior is shit. Like, where is the accountability? You were still saying, I had a lot going through in my personal life. I don't give a damn. It doesn't give you an excuse to hurt somebody physically and emotionally. I don't give a damn. And you really think this person was gonna go back to you? You really think he's gonna break up with Ben I mean, break up with Nick to come back to you and go through that shit. You not wanting to be seen or talk to him in public. Like, really? You salting in him. You telling him that no one's gonna love you. Excuse me, sir. Then you're gonna tell Nick that he stole Charlie away. Please, girl. Please. Sir.
You know, like, we're never getting back together. Like, ever.
Please. And that puts more guilt in, because when he first tried to attempt to talk to Nick after they got in trouble for talking in class during prep, he was like, how is it like being like me, meaning they're a secret because he doesn't want to come out? I was like, no, he's nothing like you. The only thing that is similar, not like you, but similar, is the fact that it's still a secret, the relationship. But anyway, after that whole thing, we found out that Nick has a father who's French and lives in Paris now, and he's fluent in French. Charlie likes it.
Do you like the fact that I speak French?
It's fine. It's cool.
Charlie!
We, the French guys. So that goes on. Yeah, finished. That goes on. And then what happens next? Oh yeah, he attempts to meet his father during the trip before they have to go back. And then as that goes on, he gives Tao and Elle decide to continue this whole won't they, I like him, let's stay friends. They do reconcile and they are still friends. And then she tries to attempt to talk to her again about the I love you, but she runs away from the situation again, and then she leaves it again. She feels guilty for not revealing why. She doesn't want to talk about it, or she doesn't do it, or something like that. So Nick and Charlie go through the museum and stuff like that, and because of the Hickey situation, and then they go back to hotel. He's still trying to talk to his father, and then Tao tells he finally talks to Nick about his relationship with Al. They're slowly trying to rebuild a friendship and stuff like that, and he gives him advice about that you're really nice, you defend your friends out loud, which is very much true, right? Tao is very subdued in this season compared to the first. Remember the first, he was now he's a little bit subdued, a little bit there. But they did talk, like Tao and Elle did talk about them remaining friends and stuff, like they don't want to ruin a friendship. And then he feels that and he hears that and he receives that, but he's so nervous that he leaves with Isaac to get ice or whatever it is, and he leaves both of them in the room, and then he gives them a hickey. He finds out the next morning.
Did I do that?
I have a hickey. I wear hickeys proudly, but anyway, people, they're gonna rumor, and the rumors are gonna rumor. So there's this rumor that it could be him, but it's not Charlie, which I don't get why, because they spend so much time together, right? So finally, they do all that thing, they run around, he talks, and then Charlie talks to Elle, gives her much needed advice about sometimes, we don't know this love thing or this thing, and then yeah, so they end up also going along on their own, and then they finally kiss there in the museum, and then yeah, that's it, right? It ends there. And then Charlie and Nick go around there. He finally gets a phone call from his father, says, hey, meet me at the cafe in 10 minutes, I'm right here. Before they go there, they're at the balcony, and one of the friends of the bully is like, hey, who gave you the hickey? Did Nick give you that hickey? And Nick was like, what if I did? You know what I mean? And then, but unbeknownst to everyone, the bully says, no, leave them alone, guys. I was like, and both of them were like, did he just defend us? I was like, I think he did.
Weird.
Right? I was like, remember, Pella, that the bully would sit down with Isaac to do the homework thing that during, yeah. Maybe something got into him a little bit. Character development. Stop being such a, it's not necessarily homophobic, but like stop being that. Stop being what you are. And then they meet the father. The father is a very absent father. He really doesn't care for his son except for him playing rugby. He has a second wife. It's alluded to the fact that he has a second wife or a girlfriend or a daughter, because Nick was like, I want to meet her one day or something like that.
I would have invited you this summer, but
I'd still like to meet her sometime if you wanted me to.
So at first I took it as a wife, but I think it might be a child. And then he leaves after 2 minutes and says, no, it's just something I can't get out of. I'm leaving. And then Nick reveals to Charlie, the only thing he knows about me is rugby and stuff. So yeah, he's disappointed. You know, when we try to chase a parent's love that is absent, it's very hard to chase that type of love. It's very, very difficult. Hey, you lose a sense of self when you chase an absent parent's love. Like, I don't recommend it. I've never been in that situation, but I really don't recommend it. It breaks your heart every single time. You put that parent in such a pristine position and they disappoint you all the time, and it just breaks your heart. Don't do it. I don't recommend you doing it. So anyway, they go back to the museum, I think, and then Charlie starts to feel the effects of him not eating, and then he faints, and then he finally reveals to Charlie Guti it's deemed as control to him because everything is so out of his control right now. So he deems not eating or controlling his eating or eating less and something as something that it's the only thing that he can control in his life. I think in the situation, how Nick handled it is not my favorite, and how he said, Yoguti, I'll help you with stress and everything. I don't think he should have said that. Granted, I know he's still a teenager and he doesn't know well, but I just truly would love to hear him saying, which as in,
I will help you through this, but eventually you have to talk to someone, be a teacher like that teacher law who helped him with the bullying situation, or your parents to help you.
I don't think he should have said, I'm your boyfriend, I'll help you through this, don't tell. I don't like it. I think he should have said that and also added the fact that he has to talk to someone, because something as severe as this can have physical, mental, and emotional stress as it prolongs, as it goes further and further. Because right now it's still new and he still is a child that can talk. He's a person that can communicate. He's not a withdrawn type of person. So I think when the time is right, I would have loved to say when the time is right, I'm never going to tell you to speak to your parents or anything, but as the time is right, we'll handle it together when you finally tell your parents or when you tell your teacher or someone to help you deal with this, because it's very unhealthy. It's going to get worse if we don't nip it in the bud right now, because if you leave high school, when you leave high school, go on your own, it's going to be worse and much more difficult to control. So if you control it now in a well-mannered way, with a lot of people by your side, it's going to be easy to manage. Yes, I say it also stems from the fact that Nick doesn't want to come out and he's putting so much pressure, not only on himself, but also the relationship. And I don't think he recognizes that as yet, but it is a factor as to why he's choosing to use this as a way to say, I still have control over something in my life, right? Because he also puts so much pressure on himself to help Nick with his coming out story to his friends, which I don't think that should be a thing. You don't have to come out to your friends if you don't want to, but at the same time, they are locking it in your Guti. When you come out to your friends, that means you are free in a way to the world, which is not the case. I think you just can finally just say hold hands in class or be lovey-dovey in public without needing to tell your friends individually, you know what I mean? So yeah, they're putting so much pressure on this coming out story. It is taking a toll on everyone in correlation. So we find out that Isaac, there's a sprinkle of Isaac liking another gay guy who's really cute, by the way. He's also gay. I'm like, hello, can we get a heterosexual character one way or another? I'm not saying there should be centered
representation. I also want to be represented.
I'm kidding. But yeah, it seems like everyone has like some type of gayness in them. I guess. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Tao being insecure about losing Elle, because Elle's going to an art school and she's made friends with some of the transgender women, but I don't think that's deemed important. We know Tao and his character and how overreactive he is and how protective he is about this relationship and his friendships. But yeah, I don't know beyond season 1, but I think they do end up dating, and I want to see how the eating disorder storyline goes from here. Okay, so the gist of 1 to 5 is just Nick belling his coming out story, his brother being a homophobic person, his father being absent, and then we have Charlie putting so much pressure on himself to be the perfect boyfriend and being who he is. I don't like, 1 minute before I conclude this one, I don't like how sometimes when Charlie becomes a shell of himself, it's quite annoying because he's trying to appease everyone and make everyone happy without a little bit of himself. But yeah, I don't like it whenever he goes back into his shell. I'm like, no, it's okay. No, dude, tell your boyfriend how much this secret or this pressure that he's trying to come out is affecting you, because you didn't tell him to come out. He decided to say it. Now he's struggling too. And you should tell him, Guti, I didn't force you to come out. I didn't say come out. I'm always supporting Guti. You don't need to come out if you don't want to. That's how he didn't even have the rights to him coming out, because apparently Tal was talking to someone else about him coming out as gay to them, and they were discussing it, and the bully heard it and told the whole school, and that's how you got bullied, because of Tal. But he doesn't blame Tal for that. It was an accident. So now he also didn't have control of him coming out, right? So he's like, I don't want to pressure you to come out. It's your story. But you're the one who's saying, I want to come out, I want to come out. Now you don't want to because there's pressure. So he's putting stress on him too for that as well. So that's wrong. He should voice his
voice, talk.
But no, he's like it, and it's frustrating to see that. It's very much frustrating. So that's that. And then we have Isaac. I think it's Isaac. Isaac finally also having a storyline and getting to talk and seeing how type of personality he is. Banger personality. Then you have Tao and Al and her friends also having this problem with communication. And Imogen trying to, and finally breaks up with the loser Ben in front of everyone, which he shouldn't have done that, but anyway. And then finds out that a little bit of, does Charlie really, with something going on with Ben? Like, why is he so obsessed with him? And then, yeah, that whole scene. Like, so a lot going on. I prefer this season, if I'm not mistaken, compared to the first season. There's more going on. It's not centered around two of the main characters, but everyone in the friend group got a storyline. I really do like that very much. There's more to talk about in season 2 compared to the first season. So I'm really happy about it right now. I'm quite enjoying it. So I'm going to watch the remaining 3 and I'm going to come back. Probably I'm going to scream more. Okay, hello everybody. So this is a few days later, part 2 basically of season 2 of Heartstoppers. My heart keeps beating. Anyway, so actually with the first recap, I finished episode 5 and 6 just from the beginning, so we're going to continue from there. So yeah, Tal and Tao go on a date, right? They kiss, like I told you, that they end up kissing, and then they come back and tell their friends that they're kissed. Everybody's excited, and they try for them to meet up again and stuff. So that happens, and then they have a party for the girl. I forgot her name, and it's so mean of me to not know those girls' names. But my phone is somewhere else, and I'm ping to go fresh, so I know her name. But the lesbian couple, the other girl, the black girl. It's her birthday party, right? During the Paris trip. So the girlfriend decides to give her a party. Like I said, she still refuses to actually talk to her girlfriend about why she doesn't say I love you back. So she hasn't said it yet, okay? So they do a party. That's what happens before, ne? Yeah, I think that's what happens. And then, as they're planning the party, they give her a party. They say happy birthday. They go to one of their last trips around Paris. One of their last. I think this is their second to last day in Paris. They do all those things. They hang out. Nothing much. Like I said, Imogen did break up with stupid ass assaulter Ben. And then she hangs out with the remainder of the group. Yeah, that's it, right? So they do the party. They play spin the bottle. Okay. The reason why she's doing the party, the girl was like, I know I have not been a good girlfriend, but to make it up to you, I'm gonna give you a party instead of actually talking about my feelings.
Tonight we're gonna talk about feelings.
And you can tell me about your feelings, girl, right? But they do the party, they do spin the bottle, and it lands on Charlie eventually, and they ask him about Kiss the other gay guy, the other out guy, and he's like no. And then it's okay, do another dare. Is the dare is kiss the assaulter Ben. And the assaulter Ben says he does this again. He says the same line he said in season 1, episode 1. He was like, I didn't even know Charlie. You know, you're coming close. Actually, the same level as August. Because I'm telling you, after I finished watching this season, I went to watch an episode of Young Worlds, because who wouldn't, right? And immediately when August came on screen, I was like, I'm still not over it. I am still not over it. I'm sorry, I'm still not over it. So he does that and then he leaves. He angrily leaves. My gosh. That happened. And I'm like, why was he invited in the first place? Like, how can you invite Assaulter Ben after what Imogen did during the dinner table about breaking up with him and everything, and yet you still invite him to the party? Mara, you have the bully, homophobic bully, you don't let them in. Yeah, the homophobic bully were there. We're like, hey, can we come in? I said, no, I don't invite homophobics to my party. It was like, how Mara invited you? Okay, let me talk to Charlie and Nick. Maybe, yeah. But I don't want to talk to you. And I was like, what? Nick, you know Nick and his arm crossing. It's like, what do you want? And I was like, I'm sorry, ne. Like, I'm sorry. I know I was a homophobic prick. Mother, I'm sorry. Can I come in? I was like, no. But no. So, yeah. Idiots, right? Like, why was he invited? So he can be, no, you're not coming. And him, so he leaves angrily and then was like, can I please choose a truth? I was like, okay, cool. Who gave you the hick? The friends are like, let it go, man. Why do you need to know? It's none of your business. It's not about business where he got the hick. And then, take it away, Nick.
Hey, we're dating.
Oh my god, I called it.
And he takes it away. He says that he comes out to the people in the party, and this one girl, I think it's a girl, he's like, do you want anyone to know? I don't know what was his answer. Yeah, that was his answer. So yeah, that happens, and then they go back to the room. Tao and the other people, they sleep in the other rooms, and they go back to the room together. They try to get intimate, like the devil's tango. No, I tried to do it in the first season. Like, no, that's not that. That's not. What is a tango? Tango's like, it's the forceful dance, I think. Anyway, so they try to do the devil's tango, and then they come to the conclusion that they're not ready in whatever it is. Okay. And then they sleep together, they talk. I love that they were talking. So they do all that. And then the trip is over. They go back to school. I think the trip becomes over, yeah. It comes over. And Nick is still noticing that he's not eating. Yeah, did I say that he fainted, ne? Yeah, I think I did tell you that. Yeah, I did tell you that he fainted. And then the trip is over, they go back to school. They go back to school. So with that, we find out that Elle got accepted to her art school. So her and Tao are dating now, I think. So they go back to school. She gets accepted, and she doesn't want to tell Tao that she got accepted. And then things fall over. He's sad about it, but he ends up with the conclusion of, you know what? I don't want you to not go to the school because of me. Go to school. I was like, that is very mature of you, Tao. Oh my gosh, hearts. So yeah, then they end up dating. Those two end up dating. That's it, right? So then we find out that the white girl, the white girl in the lesbian relationship, doesn't have the most stable home. Her mom is, I think, homophobic, but apparently the mom doesn't know that she's a lesbian. Apparently, but it's teased at the end of episode 6, 7 that there's some turmoil somewhere there, because they're going to prom, right? They're going to prom at the end of the season. There's a prom. They have prom, apparently. They're deciding to go to prom, so it's discussed in that way. So we find out that she's homophobic. She's not nice. So as they are planning for prom, they get outfits, all of them. Nick decides to reveal to the world that he's dating Charlie, and that he's bi. He has to mention that he's bisexual. Like, not that I'm gay, I'm bisexual. He has to say that. You can just say I'm dating Charlie. Pela. There's no need with no, I'm bisexual, by the way. Why? Just say you're dating him. Whoever thinks you're gay, if they say you're gay, then you can say, no, I'm actually bisexual. But don't volunteer that information. But like, yeah, I'm actually quote unquote bisexual. Like, chill, dude. Chill. Like, chill. So yeah, Charlie's happy about that. Okay, they decide to go to prom together. It's still a little bit of effort because they're gonna come out. So they're planning for prom, and then we finally see as reason why she has a volatile home. Mama, okay. Her mom sees her in her suit because she decided to wear a suit to prom, and she's like, "Yeah, Titi's like, no, take it off. You're not going to be a lesbian here." So lesbians are the only one that wear suits, ma'am. Excuse me. And I take it off, and then she runs away from home. She sleeps in the park apparently. Her girlfriend keeps on texting her, "Where are you? Help me!" Like she's not answering or anything like that. So she calls on her friends to come help. And they're helping her with the prom situation, and yeah, they do that. But before they go to the prom, they first went to the beach. I'm skipping. They went to the beach. No, that's season 3. Yeah, they do the prom. They do the prom thing, and then they go to prom. Tao goes with Al, and then yeah, everyone goes with their respective partners, right? Like, the prom is banging. It's bomb, right? It's bombing and it's banging. You know how Charlie is reserved-ish, like he's I don't know if he's an introvert in a way or he's, but yeah, nah, he's sitting by himself and it's like, "You wanna go?" And he's like, "Maramos, this is what you wanted, coming out and being prom together." It's like, we've missed the whole thing of coming out. It's just to be free, not to have this whole spectacle to show people that we're dating. It's just to be free. I was like, okay. They go with their friends, and then the girlfriend ends up finding the girlfriend before they go to prom. Before they go to prom, and then she finds out her mom is terrible. She slept at the park. Then they finally talk, and she finally tells her that the reason why she left home, Mama Kunjani, was, "I love you the way she is." Yeah, she did tell her that she loved her in the party situation when she was drunk, but she was like, "I'm not drunk. I do actually feel like this." But now she reconfirms to say, "Hey, I do love you," and stuff like that. It's just, I'm different at school than I am here, but I just want to let you know and stuff like that. So that happens, and if I didn't know how she is and what happened in her situation, Tao, they're also done with that. Like I didn't tell you, Isaac, like I said, has a speaking role this season, finds out that he's asexual. The guy that we thought they both are dating, have a crush on each other, turns out he's just asexual. He doesn't have any type of feelings to be romantic with anyone. So yeah, that's it. So that's the end of that story, right? So we go through that, and then the eating disorder situation still comes up in a way. It trickles in and there. And like, if I'm being honest, people, about this season, it's heavy in a way of, why is there, I'm not saying it, why is there a need to put mental health aspects into a story like this? Because he was bullied for being gay. He has an eating disorder now. He's an introvert at that. And he was assaulted, right? Because during the prom situation, after the prom situation, the abuser Ben keeps on asking him, "Please, can you meet up? And I'm like, why should we meet up, right? And eventually he does meet up with him. Luckily, Ben's still there. And then he's like, "Sorry." I'm like, yeah? I'm confused. I was so heated because his sorry had an explanation or an excuse after it. It's like, "You know I liked you, but you didn't give me more time." I'm like, "Excuse me, sir?"
Shit. I really liked you. If I just had more time.
Oh, to do what? Sharpen their pitchforks?
That's not an apology. I will commend August. I will commend August at the end of season 3. He was genuinely sorry for what he did, because he was isolated, but he genuinely apologized, sincerely apologized to Ville and what he did. Will I forgive him one day? Who knows? Maybe one day. So it's not like I know the person ends the show, but maybe one day. But he was sincere about it. But whenever I watch that show, but he has the ability to be forgiven. Yes, he did distribute child pee to the world on the internet and then tried to double down on it instead of apologizing and being like, I'll take any consequences I will take. But no, he did all that snake shit until there, right? But this guy doesn't grasp the situation, what he did. Because when he tried to talk to Nick during Paris and be like, why do you hate me so much and whatever, I think Paris or something. And he was like, you assaulted him. You literally assaulted him. I was like, yes, but he doesn't understand that. With this apology, he still doesn't say sorry for assaulting you, sorry for verbally assaulting you, basically abusing you by saying you're never gonna be loved. Why during a party that I came out with Nick's friends and you're gonna tell that because you're jealous that I may be dating Nick and not you? Make that make sense, bitch. I was like so heated when I was watching this scene. But anyway, he says the remainder of his I'm sorry's.
My parents would never accept who I really am. I'm sorry for everything.
And I was like, heated on the behalf of Charlie. But Charlie comes in and he says this fantastic thing.
I really hope you become a better person so you don't hurt anyone else. But I don't want to be there to see that happen. I don't want to see you ever again.
And I was like, yes. Get it right. And then he said he's leaving school. I was like, good riddance. I don't know why he left. I don't know why the actor left the show, but he left the show anyway. So we don't see him again. He's an abuser. I think he's but that's just me. Because he cannot grasp the verity of what he did. He's not sorry. He's literally sorry, not sorry type of guy. He's still me. If you give me more time. You're not sorry for all the shit that you did, and then they leave, right? They go to prom, like I said, they go to prom. After prom, they go back to, I think, Nick's or Charlie's house. During that time, Nick had a conversation before. He will have a conversation with Nick now. He had a conversation with Tao. They're getting closer, which is great, né? Tao tells him, they talk, and Tao was like, as in, the more I get to know him, the more I'm like, there's some shit going on here, right? There's a lot going on, like he's bullying. And Tao tells Nick the reason why he's afraid of being alone, because Baba Kushoni, his dad died and stuff. And there's a reason why Charlie's so reserved because of the bullying and stuff. But he doesn't know the extent of the bullying. So after that conversation with Tao, they go there and he asks him, like, you don't tell me things, like what transpired when you were bullied that year. And he says the reason, how he got out and why it affects him and stuff like that. So we haven't reached the I don't eat type of thing, or I eat noodles, I eat yogurt and stuff like that. We just get to the point where the bullying affected him. Again, I feel like Nick needs to do the responsible thing here and involve a professional, involve a parent, or encourage him to talk to his parents to get help, because this is a serious thing. And I'm not saying force him. I'm saying introduce him to the idea of it. That's all I'm saying, because you cannot expect to carry this burden. Yes, he carried the burden of your coming out story to not be as ruthless as he experienced, as he has said, right? During that whole reason why. I get it. It's hard. I don't know if it's PTSD or something. When you don't have an outlet to those type of things, you'll carry it. And he's been carrying it alone, right? So he has you, but at the same time, you cannot carry this, both of you, alone. You need outlets so people can help you how to deal with it. So they do that, and then they have this lovey ending of, I love your hair, I love the thing, and and then his mom comes back. So he loves him, and Nick's like, hey, and then now Charlie's like, hey. So yeah, I think it ends there, né? I think the season ends there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it ends there. I think. If not, I'll add a clip of how it ended. I don't remember. But yeah, that's essentially the end of the season, right? It ends on a cliffhanger of mental health, of him dealing with his emotions of being bullied and stuff like that, right? He's still not eating at the same time. And Nick almost says, I love you to Charlie. And him coming out finally. And him acknowledging that him and coming out and not coming out also put stress on him. I was like, thank you for acknowledging it. Thank you for finally acknowledging that you also put stress on him by your coming out story. That puts so much burden on him and stuff like that. Oh, and the brother, at this point, it just irritates me. The brother, like the dinner that they had, the brother outed Nick to the father. Oh, this whole scene was so irritating to me. Very much irritating. You know how protective Charlie's sister was. Kicked the phone and said the speech down there. I was like, please, girl, don't end up effing this guy like the sister from Young Rose. Don't do that. And that's essentially it. The father leaves. He does the whole speech and the father leaves still. So like, that's it. That's the gist of that. We don't see them again. At least he has support of his mom, which is great. So yeah, that's just the ending of season 2, of him almost saying I love you to Charlie, and then finally realizing the brunt of his bullying, being called all sorts of shit names. And you thought people, it's 2020, what you think people are not homophobic? They're homophobic. You'll always have homophobic people, always and forever. We have to deal with that. But you'll deal with that when you talk to someone trusted and who can help you. You cannot do it alone. And I don't like that they're doing it alone. But we'll see in season 3. Season 3. I started to watch the first episode of season 3. It starts tough because part of me feels like they should break up, but we'll see. I'll do the video for season 3. But yeah, that's essentially Heartstopper season 2. Like I said, I really did enjoy this one because it had more of drama, and everyone in the friend group had a storyline. So everyone had their own storyline. Imogen needs to be part of the friend group. So yeah. Oh yeah, the friends. Nick's friends. The one with the black guy, apparently. They did say they miss him, and then his friends again. I don't think Nick prioritized those rugby friends at all, because I didn't even play rugby in season 2 much. He doesn't prioritize that friend group at all. Like he doesn't care for it. He prefers the friend groups that they've created together alongside with Charlie. Like his rugby friends, he don't care. Like, I miss you too, guys. No, he's not gonna hang out with them. There are two Volcro, like they're sharing friend groups, and he needs to have his own friends. But the matter with him and Tao now are closer and actually talking. Yeah, it's a problem. But we'll see how season 3 goes. That's season 2 of Heartstoppers. Yeah, this one will definitely have like a warning due to mental health issues and just physical abuse and mental abuse, you know what I'm saying, and homophobia. But yeah, be careful out there, choose your friends wisely, and take care of yourself mentally, man. Like, if you know that you're feeling and you're going through something mentally, get some help, seek some help. It's vital to seek some help, people. Like, Nami, I've gone through some things and I haven't gotten help. I haven't seeked for help, so I know what difficult it is to seek. So I need to practice what I preach. That's a banger, by the way. Thank you. Plug. But yeah, anyway, catch you in season 3